Oh. Oh.
Okay. First, I just want to say something. It seems like we've had a lot of discussion, and I think we've got a little bit heated in this discussion, and I want to get back to the point of the letter. And I would like to know if we want to agree collectively to send it, or if we should have one person send it on. So I want to know about what the consensus is on sending the letter. For myself, personally, as a co-op member, I support the letter. So, but I'm curious, other opinions.
May I have the speaky mic thing? Speaky mic. Testing. Hi, Charles. I support the letter. I'm going to say, though, that I hear a deeper issue that I think is even more critical, and that's just about communication. I don't think that the PPB doesn't want to communicate. I think that maybe the way communication is being framed is differently, is being perceived differently from different people. I also feel that the community wants to be involved, and I can be wrong, and that's okay, wants to be involved at the table with DOJ, the PPB, and the city while they're hashing through the policy development. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because the COAB does so much already, but you know, I'm willing to be uncertain and unclear in my position about that right now. And then the last thing, before I let this go to another, whoever wants to talk, is that I think it would be maybe helpful, and this is my suggestion, to, you know, for the COAB on its website to clearly delineate the policy development process for the COAB, and how that happens between the police, between the PPB. And likewise, for the PPB to clearly communicate that on their website. And maybe they even want to have a link through, is that what that's called, when it's all highlighted? And then you would go to the COAB website. So that way things like systems are working together. Because that's, I mean, in the end, that's what we are. We're a community of one. So that's it.
I'm fine with the letter. And in addition, I think we need to invite the chief and the mayor and the mayor-elect. But I also wanted to comment about what you said, Tasha, about feeling diminished. I think that's the whole crux of what we're talking about tonight. We talk about it with different content, but it's the same issue about trust and communication and feeling diminished. The community feels diminished because we aren't at the BHU meeting, we aren't at the policy meeting, we aren't at the PPA contract meeting, we aren't at the accountability meeting, we aren't any place except here by ourselves. And then we invite you, but we aren't invited anywhere. And there is no communication to us. Amy Ruiz gave us instruction all along. This is the time for this policy, the universal directives. And we diligently worked on them. And we talked about it. We had communication. We wrote up the policies. Kathleen didn't want them written one way. We wrote them another way. We had police advisor input, et cetera, et cetera. We sent them off. And then we don't know. I mean, you tell us there's a procedure that they go to the COCO, they go to the DOJ, they eventually get to the city and the police. But we don't know that that's happening because nobody talks to us. And I don't know how many more times we have to communicate, and I don't mean to just be focusing at you, Tasha, or you, Mary Claire, but you happen to be the representatives.
And we're thankful you came.
And, I'm sorry, I just have to talk to a few of you. And maybe the people who are listening could be hearing this too. But somebody needs to be communicating with the community. Thank you.
Steve?
Okay, so